Signed the Freedom Charter, Section 25 of Act 108 of 1996. How do you understand the Freedom Charter? Please join and sign the petition www.petitions24.net/free education equity debt. Section 25, subsection 7 reads, a person or community dispossessed of property after the 19th June 1913 as a result of past racial discriminatory laws or practices is entitled to the extent provided by an act of parliament either to restitution of that property or to equitable redress. The Natives Lands Act of 1913 was signed into law, signed by the Governor-General Viscount Gladstone on the 16th of June 1913. This bill's foundation laid some of the bitterness that still give the South African government difficulty to handle the land crisis today. This act established the principles of territorial separation, segregation, under which Africans and whites were to acquire and occupy land in separate chosen areas. This new bill allowed blacks to live on 10.5 million hectares or 7.5% of the whole of South Africa, while whites lived on 131.5 million hectares or 92.5% of the whole of South Africa. This presentation is based on a letter. This letter is published in the Reader's Digest book, Illustrated History of South Africa, the 1992 copyright version. Page 388 of this book will give clarity of the Freedom Charter as explained by Chief Albert John Mvumbi Luthuli. In this presentation, we shall explain one clause. Clause 8, the doors of learning and culture shall be open. In the letter, Chief Albert Luthuli explained this clause by saying, this clause sets out principles for free, universal, compulsory, equal education, promises to wipe out illiteracy, and undertakes to remove all sporting, cultural, and educational color bars. The doors of learning and culture shall be open, and the policy reads, education shall be free, compulsory, true and equal for all children. Higher education and practical training shall be open to all by means of state grants made to support the student's education on the basis of merit. What is the meaning of the word principles? Section 25 subsection 2 states, property may only be expropriated in terms of law of general application. The word principles means a general scientific theorem or law that has numerous specific applications across a wide field. Google it or look in your dictionary. In simple words, a general law application. This is the American dollar, and the American dollar currency payment states. This note is legal tender for all debts, public and private. This is a pound currency of England, and it states, based on payment, the Bank of England, I promise to pay the bearer on demand the sum of the Scottish pound currency payment. The governor and company of the Bank of Scotland promise to pay here to the bearer on demand the apartheid rand currency payment. It states, Suid-Afrikaanse Reservebank. Ek beloof op aanvraag te betaal aan toonder te Pretoria. I promise to pay the bearer on demand by at Pretoria. The Democratic Rand currency payment. It only says South African Reserve Bank. This note stipulates nothing. Section 25 subsection 4 reads, for the purpose of the section. A. The public interest includes the nation's commitment, open bracket, promise, close bracket, to land reform, and to reforms to bring about equitable, open bracket, financial, close bracket, access to all of South Africa's natural resources. And B. Property is not limited to land. This note is not promissory to land reform. Therefore, this indicates three things. The bearer being the South African Reserve Bank, the promise made by the people of South Africa, the payment made in interest to the value of the currency. These notes are not promissory. What we propose, commit to the petition to declare on the rand, I promise to pay for education through demand as at the South African Reserve Bank. Ek beloof op onderwys te betaal deur aanvraag by die Suid-Afrikaanse Reservebank. Ke tshepisa go duela thuto ka diphatlo le ditirelo go banka e kgolo ya Afrika Borwa. Ndiyathembisa ukukhokela imfundo ngempahla nenkonzo kwibhanki elikhulu loMzantsi Afrika. 2. Increasing the value chain price to pay the debt incurred for education and training at 7.5% of the value chain price through both VAT and non-VAT items. This will create the guarantee for free education and training. 3. Loan from the Reserve Bank. 1. The amount required is to create a circulation of legal tendered currency notes to fund free education and training. 2. The amount should not be less than nor more than the current civil debt. And 3. The money will be circulated to pay off all our current debts. Therefore, increase the prices at 7.5% and use this increase to pay off the Reserve Bank loan at an interest of the Reserve Bank. Sign the petition www.petitions24.net/feed. The call for 1 million signatures. Change the civil debt into equity for education. Bail yourselves out of debt, South Africa, 7.5%. Make the economy accessible. Declare the currency legal tender. Thank you and God bless.